When everybody leaves, it's just me sitting at home, brushing my teeth, a bunch of ideas bouncing around in my head. When did I realize that's not how most people think? When I was 5 or 6, I thought I was insane. It was clear that other people didn't have minds exploding with ideas. I thought, I'm strange. People imagine it's amazing, but it's actually hard to turn off. It's a never-ending explosion. Thoughts, concepts, and possibilities all the time. They said, Tesla, sell, sell, sell. You don't want to own this stuff. You shouldn't even rent it. Beyond the hype, they said, there's not much going on. No profit. Losses increasing. $1 billion company bleeding money. They said the same about SpaceX. You can't privatize space. History proves it. They said, even Neil Armstrong and Gene Cernan, the heroes of Apollo, testified against you, and I said, that's sad. Those guys are heroes of mine. I wish they'd come see the hardware. I think it would change their minds. They inspired me to do this. It hurt to see them cast stones. I hoped they'd cheer me on. One of the hardest decisions of my life came in 2008. I had maybe $30 or $40 million left. 2 companies, Tesla and SpaceX, both on the verge of death. I could put it all into one and let the other die, or split it and risk losing both. When you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, it's like a child. How do you decide which one to let starve? I couldn't, so I split it, and somehow both survived. What was my biggest failure? There are many. For SpaceX, the first 3 launches failed. We barely scraped together parts and money for a 4th. If that 4th had failed, SpaceX would have been dead. At Tesla, the Model 3 production ramp almost killed the company. We were bleeding cash. If we didn't solve it fast, we'd die. We were within single-digit weeks of bankruptcy. In the early days, I went to Russia 3 times trying to buy a refurbished ICBM. It was weird, walking into Russian rocket forces in 2001 saying, I'd like to buy 2 of your biggest rockets, but you can keep the nuke. They thought I was crazy, but I had money. So they listened. After 3 trips, I realized my first assumption, that people lack the will to explore, was wrong. There's plenty of will, especially in the United States. It's a nation of explorers, people who left everything to reach new frontiers. So I said, we need to solve the space transport problem. That's when I started SpaceX. Everyone told me not to. They said it was impossible. I'd never built anything physical before, but I had to learn, because rockets don't get partial credit. The passing grade is 100%. You can't test a rocket in the real environment until you launch it. You get 1 shot. It's like writing the most complex code ever, and the first time you run it, it must be bug-free. Our first launch failed. I was picking up pieces of rocket at the site. It was sad, but we learned. Second launch, failed. Third launch, failed, but we learned every time. And the fourth reached orbit. I tried to find a great chief engineer. The good ones wouldn't join. The bad ones, not worth hiring. So I became chief engineer myself. If I'd found someone better, maybe we'd have had fewer failures. How did I learn? I read a lot, talked to smart people, studied physics, and worked with a great team. I didn't have an aerospace degree. So yes, self-taught. Did I ever think of quitting after the 3rd failure? Never. Why not? Because I don't give up. I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated. People think maybe I don't feel fear. I feel it strongly, but when something's important enough, you do it anyway. Fear is normal. It's not the absence of fear that matters. It's acting despite it. When my brother and I started our first company, we couldn't afford an apartment. We rented a small office and slept on the couch. We showered at the YMCA. We had 1 computer. The website ran during the day, and I coded at night, 7 days a week, every waking hour. I briefly had a girlfriend then. To see me, she had to sleep in the office. If you're starting a company, you must work super hard. If someone else works 50 hours and you work 100, you'll accomplish twice as much in a year. Simple math, but rare discipline. Focus on something valuable to others. Be rigorous in your thinking. Human nature leans toward wishful thinking. Entrepreneurs must constantly ask, do I truly have something meaningful here, or am I chasing a fantasy? That's the hardest question. Attract great people. That's what a company is. A group of people creating something together. Their talent, their work ethic, their focus. That's what determines success. Do everything you can to gather great people. Focus on signal over noise. Many companies spend money on things that don't make the product better. At Tesla, we've never spent money on advertising. Every dollar goes into R&D, design, and manufacturing. Keep asking, does this effort make the product better? If not, stop doing it. Don't just follow the trend. Think in first principles. The physics approach. Boil things down to their fundamentals and reason up from there. That's how you see whether something truly makes sense. It's hard to think that way. It takes effort. But if you want to do something new, that's the only way that works. Now is the time to take risks. When you're young, you don't have kids or big obligations. As you get older, responsibilities increase. You take risks not just for yourself, but for your family. It gets harder. So take risks now. Do something bold. You won't regret it. When I was a kid, I wondered, what's the meaning of life? Why are we here? I realized that what truly matters is asking the right questions. The more we expand the scope of human consciousness, the better we can ask them. To make the future good, we need sustainable transport and energy, a spacefaring civilization, humanity among the stars. Becoming a multi-planet species is life insurance for life itself. But more than survival, it's about adventure. It's about excitement for the future. There must be reasons to get up in the morning. Life can't just be about solving problems. Imagine two futures, one where we're confined to Earth, until eventually something terrible happens. Another where we're out there among the stars, where science fiction becomes reality, where humanity expands across planets and star systems. That's the future worth striving for. It makes people excited about tomorrow. It makes life worth living. People often look happier than they are. On social media, you see only the best moments, the perfect lighting, the perfect angle. So you think, everyone else is happy and beautiful and I'm not. I must suck. But it's an illusion. Some of the happiest looking people are the saddest inside. That illusion can make people feel small. This may sound corny, but love is the answer. The world needs more love. People should be kinder to one another, give each other more credit. Don't assume someone is mean until you know they are. It's easy to demonize others, but usually you're wrong. People are nicer than you think. Give them more credit. There's no point in being pessimistic. It doesn't help. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Optimism drives action. It creates possibility. What drives me is that sense of possibility, that we can make the future better, that we can be a spacefaring civilization, that we can build a world worth living in, that there can be things so inspiring that they make you look forward to the future. There must be things that make you excited to wake up in the morning, things that make life worth living. That's what matters. That's what keeps me going.